Happening now from east to west. Amazon AMA, first of the year. Am I peaking? Sorry. Welcome, everyone, to the first AMA of the year. All 1,732 of you. All right, welcome to the show. This is a show. It's scripted. It's totally scripted. Every single thing we do is scripted. My name is Michael Marr, not Maher, not Mayor, not Mayor, but Michael Marr. I am the Chief ID Officer of Cartology, an Amazon service agency, and I'm here with my good friend and colleague, Brett Bohannon, who is the founder of Amazon with Brett. If you want to plug something else, you're welcome to. But welcome, my friend.
Welcome. Happy New Year.
Don't tell me what to do. Let's talk about some things that are happening right now. What, from your perspective, it's a new year, new goals, new things happening. There's already, I think, a lot of news in January for things that are going on with Amazon. Give me all of the bullet points in give me all of the notes in 3 succinct topics and give it to me in the voice of Michael Marr. Go. Sorry, I thought you were generative AI for a second. Never mind.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing that I've seen lately, outside of probably new advertising stuff that happens every week, is that keep back-end keyword expansion and the nice, fun opinions that are coming out of that from everyone.
Let's talk about that.
Let's do it.
What are the opinions?
Well, for all those 1,732 people that are on here, make sure to go to X or LinkedIn and see my post from a couple days ago. I don't know the metrics of going viral, but I guess it was on that line of virality. But I got a lot of people, and it's funny, I posted this on X, formerly known as Twitter, as well.
Do you have to still say that?
I don't know. It's 2024, so I don't know if you do or not. But a lot of people within the industry, I won't name names, that are like, hey, like, this is cool, but search terms don't matter. They don't index. They don't do this. They don't do that. And, while that might be true in some tests, in some form of fashion that these individuals might have tested out, my whole thing is, if Amazon's changing something, it's for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I've noticed over the years. And there's a lot of just like, this works, this doesn't, kind of track-minded in the space for individuals, whether they be service providers, whether they be software people or whatever. The thing is that Amazon has, and I don't know if there's actual facts to back this up, but they've taken stuff that they've done in the past, and then they brought it back quite a few times.
That's exactly what this feels like. I mean, It is what's happening.
Yeah, because it wasn't search terms and keyword fields. Wasn't there 5 different line items back in the day?
And I think it used to be closer to like 1,000 characters. So there's 5,000 total.
Yeah.
Then it reduced to, I want to say, I don't know, 500. Mm-hmm. And then it went down to one line of 500. Then I think it went down to 250. And I know some people say characters, some people say bytes. I do think it is actual bytes. So like if you're doing Mandarin or something like that, some of those kanji characters are going to be multiple bytes, which will take more space.
There was something a couple years back that I pointed out too. It's basically all the softwares like Helium 10 and anyone else that could do the character counts or bit counts were underutilizing that. So essentially you could have a couple more in your search term field than you could because of that change from characters to bits and whatnot. Um, but but again, it's funny because it's like, yeah, this is pretty cool. It's a cool differentiation. It's not differentiation, wrong word, but it's a cool change that occurred. But it's like, okay, so you got to look at what's happening. Is like, okay, Amazon has showcased in different categories. It's like, hey, what they want title characters to be pretty short in some. They're saying 50 for some of them.
Are they?
So are you gonna sit here?
You like my little ticker across the bottom?
Oh,
it's a cool change that occurred.
But you got to sit here and look at what's happening. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, like maybe they are going to bring back search term and generic keywords being indexed more. My whole thing is this is just like back end attributes. It's like utilize them. If they're showing up on your flat file, if they're showing up on the back end of your listing, you're not utilizing them, utilize them. Like
my thing would be, like you said, Amazon's doing it for a reason. Why would you, I'm not saying spend a ton of time, but why would you not take advantage of that? There's a reason why there are attributes and in search results. There's a reason why Amazon provides all those attributes. And I think the reality too is get on board and test it. If it doesn't work, great, get off. But like, if you do get on board and it's working and Amazon prioritizes that, then you've got a big opportunity.
That's a perfect way to sum it up in a way better way that I was trying to sum it up.
Well, you know what? I'm a professional speaker for a living.
Yes.
If you didn't know that.
Yes, I am not. My brain, it goes like this.
You know what? It's funny because in the sales process with brands, there's so much that I could say. And the reality is they don't care about all that. Yeah. There's a couple things they care about. And so I've really had to focus on condensing stuff. However, when I talk with my daughter, she says, Dad, is this going to be one of those long speeches, or can you just like give me the answer quickly? To which we then go through a long speech because I don't accept that.
Yeah. Well, so that's it's interesting, and it's fine. But whenever I'm working with people on Amazon and there's like, this person tested this person said this person said that. It's like fine. But if there's something that's occurring, like get on board with it, test it out. And guess what? If you test it out and it's not doing anything or it's not changing anything, you're in the exact same spot you were before and you're learning something new. You're not just sitting there going, it's not going to work because it hasn't in the past couple of years. But guess what? In 2016 to 2018, I think search terms were like the bee's knees. People were doing it. When I still look at listings and they don't have search terms, I'm like, you're missing a little bit of opportunity. Like, why not have search terms? Why not?
It's not quite as powerful as advertising. Yeah. And whatever people, I mean, if some people, I've seen some people like you, maybe we're talking about the same people that talk about, it doesn't index. But the whole point of indexing, or what that means, is you show up in search results. How could the terms in your listing not help you index?
Yeah.
That seems crazy to me to think otherwise. So,
and if it's a tiny minuscule compared to everything else, but guess what? That's a tiny minuscule more than you already had.
You need every single advantage that you can get. Here's another advantage that people could take advantage of. They will not. I think most people won't. But I would say probably 80 to 90% of spend is going to sponsored products only. It's going to depend upon the category. Sponsored brands and sponsored display have a huge opportunity. If you're not utilizing them, you are missing out. And part of the reason I say that is because the lack of spend that's happening there. However, there's a lot of inventory. It's an opportunity for Amazon to grow their business. I think they're going to prioritize that. You can see them providing a lot more audience targeting on the sponsored display side, which is exactly what DSP is, which, is another opportunity that provides you things outside of search. But sponsored displays can go off Amazon. Amazon is starting to send stuff off site. It's very small from a breakdown perspective. I mean, like less than 1% in some of these brands, but there's a lot more coming, a lot more inventory coming, and people are not taking advantage of that. How you take advantage of it, it's up to you. I have strategies. I have ways that I go about looking at stuff, but you should 100% be exploring and finding ways to focus on stuff. Maybe you don't go broad. Like hey, let's focus on people who are looking for headphones. Okay, well, that's a pretty big audience. And if you don't have, a Sony or Bose or whatever headphones people are buying, I don't know, then, it's going to be a lot more difficult. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and probably the whatchamacallit, the main point on that is people will be like, well, you're going to just chase these shiny objects and you should focus on XYZ. But my thing is, if Amazon's changing something, they're doing it for a reason. And usually we don't find out for a little while. We find out through individuals like us or other individuals who are like, whoa, look at this new cool thing. And most of the time it's just like, look at this new cool thing. And then people are like, well, how does that pertain to me? Or what do you need to do? It's like, what do you mean? Like, check it out, test it out, play with it, see what it does, and keep going,
Yeah.
There's I see a lot of comments on people that were posting about it, and they're like, well, what do we do with it? I'm like, what do you mean? What do you do with it? Like,
It's the other thing is there has to be, to really say verifiably, you got to have some kind of testing that happens. So what I would say is take out all your backend search terms. Test. See if you don't show up in search results. There's ways to test that. See if you do. See if nothing changes. Nothing changes. Okay, great. Then maybe you're okay. If you change nothing else and you start to see sales drop or you start to see less indexation, there's something. The other thing is, go ahead.
No, on top of that, a really easy way to test this is put in the Spanish version of one of your main search terms into one of your main search phrases into the search term area. Let it sit for a little while and just see if it indexes for it. Run it through the tool.
Test before to see if you're indexing, right?
Yeah, test before. If you're not indexing for that Spanish version, put it in your backend search terms, clear it all, everything out, put it in, put the Spanish version in, wait a little bit, and then index check it. I mean, there's plenty of ways to index check it. You could do the old school method, just do the URL or the search term. I think when you do quotations with the ASIN and then the search term or something
I always
like
did
that.
ASIN plus sign and then the term right after.
Yeah, I think there's that. There's the quotations as well. And then you can use tools too. There's index checking tools as well all over the place. So you can do that. Helium 10 has it. Just check it. And then if it works, guess what? Hey, just proved it worked,
The other thing is people who will put out tests and say, we tested this thing, just take that. Even if I were to put out a test, you need to take that with a grain of salt. And I say I because I'm very trusted, and just the most recognized across the whole industry. So, I mean, I can't even, get a freaking meal without people coming up to me at McDonald's. Apparently that's where you are going to get tests from people. Take it with a grain of salt. If it's like an agency, it's across their client base. So that doesn't mean it's industry wide, but there's probably some reliability to what they're saying because they're across multiple categories, across multiple clients. So there's pros and cons of all that.
Yeah, but they could be, heavier in one category and not so heavy in another. So
yeah, it's true.
It is very what they are kind of doing. And then you get softwares that will maybe throw something out. Like PackView will throw out their, quarterly thing, which is pretty trustworthy. They got a lot of people on their,
that is an area where I'd say they've got a lot of spend, billions of dollars. It's maybe $1 billion. I don't know how much spend they've got, but it's trustworthy.
Yeah. And then there's 5 fields for the search terms as well in some cases. So I tested putting in like 490 characters into each and did not get an error message.
Okay.
I didn't save it. So that's a whole nother thing. Someone in the UK was posted on my post on X, formerly known as Twitter, saying that they could do it, but it wouldn't save and it will only save the first line.
Ooh.
So that was interesting.
Well, if it's a rollout like that, it's not going to be consistent across the board. And
correct. And some people were saying, I don't even see it. And then some people are still have the old UI. I got an email from the newsletter that went out. And they're like, I don't even like mine just says search terms. It doesn't say generic keywords. I'm like, oh, that's an old UI. And, so some people are showing old stuff. I saw a post, someone showed a super old back end of of Amazon. I don't even know where they pulled it up out of, but it's very it's yeah, you got to take everything out there with a grain of salt.
By the way, if you have questions, drop them in the chat and we will answer them. We've got people, it looks like from YouTube and X that are on here. So one thing I want to bring up is your mom. Oh no, the thing that I actually want to bring up is some ad stuff like Sponsor TV. I don't know if you're running any of those.
I'm
ads.
not, but I need to learn more about it.
We've been testing some very, very limited basis, and it's cool, but it's still very new. Now, the level of impressions that I've seen, again, take it with a grain of salt. It's just for my client base. The level of impressions that I've seen can be significant, but the level of purchase seems to be very low right now. And I'm thinking of a brand we're testing with that is a well-known brand. So it's not like it's a bad product or something like that. So it just seems like tons of viewability, but how likely are people to purchase? Maybe it's going to take time to optimize those. They can eat up a ton of budget though. So just something to consider, but it's a really cool feature for people who aren't doing OTT on DSP. Now you can basically do that on just like Sponsor Display. I mean, that's what Sponsor Display is. It's the same DSP engine, programmatic stuff, basically. I mean, unless we're, talking about something that's on Amazon, but now you've got an opportunity to run TV ads in a capacity that you never could. And Amazon has announced that they are now running ads on Prime, which they were not doing before.
That's what I was going to
Why? How do you think they're going to grow their ad business, people? It's through these additional targeting types. There's money to be made there.
So before, my knowledge of this is that IMDb turned into Amazon Freevee, I believe. And that's where they have certain free programs, whatever, Freevee.
I think Freevee is I think IMDb is still a thing, but Freevee is their free television version.
Got it. Well, what I have read, it was IMDb turned into Freevee. But
by the way, be careful when you go to IMDb. Make sure you're going to IMDb. I had a friend who my now wife, but girlfriend was like, "Hey, go to imdb.com." So he went to IAMDB.com, which stands for Internet Adult Movie Database. So he got a very different,
interesting,
a very different
call out. But yeah, so the Prime is coming out with ads, or you can opt out of ads for like $3.99 a month. I think at the end of this month, right? Or like soon. So I believe that will broaden the reach significantly for this particular advertising methodology.
I am using a lot of more and more sponsored brands, a lot more sponsored display. So a ton of options. Sponsored TV, I say test it if you got budget. Why not? Why not test it? And if you got good creative too. Amazon is also.
How much budget you need?
I mean, you could easily spend $100 a day, and not get a ton of sales, like very low return right now.
So is it super top of funnel?
It's like a brand awareness play. So I wouldn't expect there to be high ROAS, but if you want to see a return, I think you're going to, just like you would for awareness stuff, you're going to have to run it for a long period of time and then hopefully track, are we seeing an increase in potentially brand purchases? Now, the cool part is a QR code pops up on the streaming services and someone can scan that. And then they go to your product detail page and can purchase, which is cool.
That is cool.
Sweet. Don't tell me what to do.
I like that.
I like it. I like it actually more than I liked it first.
Yeah, you did. I just have a couple brands asking about it, and I'm like, I don't know too much about it, truthfully. So
it's pretty easy to set up. It looks very similar to the DSP side of things when you go and set stuff up.
What kind of creative do you need? Like a short video?
You need a 15 or 30 second video. It has to be, I'm pretty sure it has to be exactly 15 or 30 seconds. It can't be, because those are what the ad spots are. So, because I tried to upload something that was like 14 and it didn't
So you can test kind of the creative around it.
You can test whatever. Yeah, you can test whatever creative you want across multiple audiences. You can do very similar audience targeting like you can with DSP and sponsored display.
Nice.
So if you want to go after people that are plant lovers, you could do that. If you want to go after people that are beef lovers, you could do that. I don't know if that's really an audience, but I mean, whatever audiences that you can run in most, I mean, I can't say all, but whatever audiences you can run, you can pretty much run with sponsored TV.
Sweet.
Amazon is also allowing or going to be allowing vertical videos.
I saw that for like UGC stuff.
But from an ads perspective, I think that's huge because brands have a ton of UGC that would run on TikTok or in Reels on Instagram. I'm not seeing many videos on X, but I'm not on there all the time. But it's a big play there. I mean, you got a lot more UGC. Amazon wants to be where people go to shop. They are allowing Meta's allowing in-app shopping for Facebook, but Amazon wants to be a place where you can go. People got all this UGC, find a way to leverage and use it. The more opportunities you have for creative, the more dollars Amazon can make. But also, I think you see either a really well produced commercial, basically in search, or you see UGC content. I think that breaks up a lot more than just a generic product video. Like run something that's going to get people's attention. If you can get a good endorsement, roll with it. If you can, I'll endorse products that I believe in, and I'll just ask for free products. So anyone out there who wants me to endorse their product, feel free to send Tess product to 101 Main Street, USA. I just, and then UGC, I think it's different. It breaks it up. People are used to and tired of seeing the same pieces of crap that are on Amazon when you search for, let's say, garlic press. That's a really well used example in the Amazon space. But let's say it's a juicer. You just see the same crap over and over again, different name but same item, and showing someone UGC or video even just to break it up. I think it can be really powerful. I've seen good results with sponsored brands with video, not on the vertical stuff, but just with really good content that stands out. So
nice.
What else do you think people should know right now, Mr. Brett?
Man.
I'm going to start calling you that, by the way.
Mr. Brett.
Mr. Brett. Mr. Brett is popping. Oh no, Mr. Brett.
I say everyone should definitely learn new things, from other individuals that might be posting about it, myself, other people in the space, whatever, but also, like you said earlier, take it for a grain of salt. Like what might work for one product might not work for yours or your brand.
It can be very what's the word I'm looking for? It can be very conditional. It's very depends upon context.
Yeah. Our good friend John Dirkits. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it.
Dirkits.
Smart dude, always is. But haven't met him in person yet. Look forward to it. But he always says it depends. And
that's the real answer. No one wants to hear that, but that's the reality. What's the best ACOS? What how much should I be spending here?
Well, in the world of if you just kind of step back and look at like everything on Twitter and LinkedIn and whatnot, it's really what do they call it? Contrarian thought, where it's just like, this is it, because that gets the most engagement. People are like, no, it's not. And then with that, it makes more virality, and they have more likes, impressions, and all that good stuff. That's the whole point of it. If you look at, if you kind of go back. So, there's a lot of people that are in the space of this is it, black and white, boom, this is what you have to do. It's like,
and the reality is that's not true. The right amount of spend is 20%. Based on what?
Yeah.
How much does your product cost?
Yeah.
What's your budget?
What should your ACOS be? What should your tacos be? What should your ROAS be?
Tacos should be always carnitas. Everybody knows that.
Dude, shrimp, carnitas, fajitas, all kinds of. I made a
next
really
time
good
next time
chicken
someone
fajita.
says, what should my tacos be, just say, I don't know, what are your fajitas?
What are your fajitas?
I'm gonna use that. Oh, I think that's gonna turn some heads and get some eye rolls, but I'm
That's
good.
a good one. I like that. But yeah, I mean, it's just like test. It's really what it comes down to. And that's what I still do to learn.
I
Is
think, are
test
you
things.
willing to test? Because if you want to get on Amazon and you want it to be this rigid system of, I'm going to spend $1 and I'm going to get 5 back. I mean, that's, I think, very unrealistic, but I'm going to spend $1, you're going to get 2 back right away. And it's just going to make sense and it's all going to happen. Like, it's not the place for you. Amazon, I think, is for anyone. But more and more, I think if you don't have the mentality of, I want to grow and I'm willing to invest, Amazon is just not, it's not the place for you. So don't even bother. Don't even bother
Yeah.
getting on.
Yeah, it's similar to, I think, Chad Rubin, and then I'm blanking on the other guy's name, but they just did like an expose on Aaron Cadordas at Zulele. I might be
Oh,
butchering that name.
Lily.
Yeah, but he basically took a huge loss for 11 months just to get his garlic press.
11 months. 11 months. Yeah, that was where I was. That was why I was.
Yeah, but it's like for
garlic
his,
press.
I bet his other products were profitable. So it's like
Well, that specific case study that Chad Rubin was talking about was about how he had that as a loss leader. Other colors, other items.
Yeah, I didn't read it.
Did so well.
I got the gist of it from it. I don't have
Did
enough
you?
time to read everything.
Did you?
I got 3 kids. I don't have enough time to read everything.
I just want some privacy in the bathroom.
Yeah, I get that quite a bit.
I was actually, my niece and 2 nieces have moved here recently, and I was just in the bathroom of my house, and they both walked in and then just left the door open. They're like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, I mean, it doesn't bother me, but I'm just like, okay, I mean, that's fine, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just it really, you got to kind of set your goals and then do the things that you need to do to make that happen.
There's a little bit of working backwards into it for sure.
Heck yeah. Yeah. That's what I say.
I'm excited for you, Mr. Brett. You want to know why I'm excited for you?
Why?
Because the world is your oyster.
Let's
pull up some old tickers here. So let's talk about some data mining from the 7 drawers.
What?
Let's talk about some other quotes. Creative is amazing.
That's a good one.
Seller support is not helpful. Everyone on Amazon. You just have to be watchful. Cool, dude. All right. Couple quick things. Amazon did some big layoffs with Buy with Prime. I think a lot of people are speculating about that. I heard somebody say 50%. I don't know how accurate that is. I think Buy with Prime is going to continue to grow. I just think Jassy has been when he and I talk, he's just told me he's very focused on profitability. I think he's trying to run it differently than Bezos, and it's a different economy too. So he's thinking about things a little bit differently, and he's probably trying to make his name. But I think Buy with Prime is here to stay. I don't think it's going anywhere, and you can take that to the bank.
I did not know that fact. That's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I think Amazon for the longest time had a bunch of people in the Alexa department that was, I think, losing billions of dollars. I think, honestly, my guess is they're going to take they've already done this, but they're going to take as many resources as possible and start putting them into the building of the Amazon LLM and start getting people to start building out all the additional generative AI pieces they want that people are talking about that will very likely replace a lot of search stuff. But honestly, I don't think search is going to go away.
There's a program out there that can automatically enroll you into changing your content on Amazon that I saw recently.
I've seen stuff. There's image AI stuff on the ads platform.
It's called brand selection.
Oh.
So if you don't opt out of it, Amazon can potentially opt into it. And what happens here? Essentially, it's a program overview. We launched a new experience exclusively for brand owners to bring the entire product selection in front of customers quickly, accurately, and at no additional cost. To assist you with the product listing process to explore brand selection, we'll provide brand owners with a comprehensive catalog view and a selection of opportunities for external sources such as brand websites and catalog files. And Amazon will create product listings and pre-populate listings for your review and approval. Wow.
But why do you think that is? I think it's because they're wanting to get off. They're sending stuff off Amazon.
Yeah.
I love Amazon Cowboys.
Of course. Who doesn't?
And also, would you rather get caught in a dark alley with a criminal or deal with Amazon seller support?
That's a good one. But if anyone is watching this or does watch this, I have a free resource. So hit me up.
What is your free resource? Let's put it in the chat.
It's do you want me to put the link?
Yeah, please.
How do I get this link? Here. Wait, how do I add it? Little plus button.
You'd have to go to chat.
Here. I'll just send it to you in private chat, and you can add it to it.
Okay.
This explains how to opt out of it.
Okay, I'll put it in. What's it called again? How to opt out of
info and how to opt out and opt in of brand selection. Because you probably don't want Amazon messing with your listings right now. I would say wait a little while till they make any program like this better, because mostly what it's going to do is it's going to scrape external sources, and then your listings are going to be crap, because we all know your listings on Amazon need to be better than your listings on your website.
Okay. Well, you heard it here first, people. Brand selection, get it done. Don't be a loser, and be better at life. So this has been Amazon AMA. We will be doing this again next month, and maybe you'll see some additional lives coming to a city near you.
That's what I was going to say. Maybe March.
Maybe March will. Nothing official, but it could be good to do. I mean, it's pretty easy to live stream, right? Anybody can do it.
No, we'll be sitting next to each other.
We'll be sitting next to each other. I think that would be cool. All right. Well, this has been X, formerly known as X.
Elon Musk is going to come at you with a lawsuit for that one.
Okay, it's not X, guys. I meant X is in the alphabet letter, like Sesame Street, but I also don't own Sesame Street. So join us again next month. If you want to see us do more, pay me money.
We're taking sponsorships.
Yeah, brought to you by Cartology. There you go. You need to get yourself a shirt for Amazon with Brett.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, I think we covered a lot today, and, good stuff all in time, and make it right. Peace out, everybody.